Hi, this is Jason, and today I'm going to show you how to use our Twitter API template. This experiment is meant to be developed on directly. There aren't any variables for you to edit. It's meant for you to access Twitter via the API using JavaScript commands. So let me get into it. As I mentioned, there's no variables here for you to really worry about. The most important thing here is for you to understand the basic of the file. The initial part of the code is just a button and a piece of instruction that says, may we have access to your tweets. I highly recommend you provide more explanation for why you want people's tweets, what the data limits are, how often you're going to access tweets, if you're going to access them more than just what you grab through the experiment, and particularly some IRB restrictions on who can access it and what the participant can do to inquire about their data and what they can do if they want to opt out later on. But at the beginning of this here, on line 3, this is where you would put in whatever you want to make, whatever request that you want to put in. And after that, there's a button. It's a request token div. Don't worry about any of the formatting here. You can change the formatting if you want, but it's not relevant. The big part here is that when they click this Get Twitter Data button, it runs the script called Make Twitter button when the study starts. And when they press that button, they use the Twitter API call. And what happens is they click the button, they get a little pop-up that says, Volunteer Science is requesting access to your Twitter feed or your Twitter data. They say yes, and then once they do, you can make calls to any endpoint on Twitter. So for that the user has access to. So in this case, we're just grabbing the statuses for the user timeline. And we're going to feed that data. So this is just whatever API endpoint you want to hit, and then the rest of this is what do you want to do with that data. In this case, we're just showing it as a JSON string in this Twitter feed div here. But say you wanted to scrape a person's whole user timeline. You would just do the first 200 and the next 200 and the next 200, and you would just add them up into one huge data array, and you would want to save that data array later. But this is just a demo. And again, you can also make calls to their Twitter, their wall, the feed that they actually see, not the feed of posts that they made. So let me just show you what it looks like. Again, the idea is that you go to the Twitter API, decide which endpoint you want to actually gather data from, and just put it into that function call. So let me show you how it looks. Remember, I'm just going to press a button that says, can I get your Twitter data? And it's going to ask me for permission. I may already have permission. And then it's going to show me my tweets. Yeah, I already have permission. And there they are. I didn't save any of the Twitter data. There's no submitting the data call in this. So if I wanted to save all of that, I would just come in here and at the end of this say submit data. But submit is the function for saving data in Volunteer Science. And so submit data, I'm done. And now I have all of my last 200 statuses on my user timeline. Okay, thank you. If you have questions, let me know. Email us at support@volunteerscience.com.